It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
Well, tyre management is key here, specifically the rears. It's all too easy to overheat and wear the rear tyres as they're punished out of the low-speed corners. Most teams won't be able to avoid some kind of issue here, especially the teams that are running less downforce.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are a Red Bull, Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself gets underway.
Hi, guess who? I've seen the team's expectations for the race, so I thought I'd pass them on and wish you luck. Take care.
It's out with the old and in with the new here at Albert Park as we usher in what we hope will be a triumphant new era of Formula One racing. For our drivers, though, it's very much business as usual, as they look to be first across that line and get their championship off to a winning start. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, former F1 competitor, former world champion, and dare I say it, all-round top bloke as well. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, and it's gone and rained on us. I imagine that that's not especially helpful for the teams, who are still trying to figure out, of course, what kind of performance they're all capable of.
First of all, Crofty, and thanks for the glowing introduction, I just want to say it's a real privilege to be here. I can't wait to see what this competitive field has in store for us this season. Now, in regards to the weather, you're absolutely right. You know, we've just come here off the back of testing. It's the first opportunity to really gauge where the reliability is, where the performance is, how you stack up against your competitors in the Grand Prix, and now it all has to be kind of put on hold for a bit. So now the question becomes, who can be adaptable? Who has the wet weather pace, and who can make best use of these difficult circumstances to come out on top in these conditions?
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Hamilton, Sergio Perez, and a Red Bull, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Ocon, and Daniel Kvyat, Alonso, Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen, and Grosjean, Massa, Palmer, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Lance Stroll, Wehrlein, and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
A great win then for the Maranello. And as we can see, it's time for... And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' Table. Sebastian Vettel takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. After that...
this the one?
Indeed it is. And this is Jonathan. He's going to let you drive some of his cars.
Well, not quite my cars, per se. It's a mere detail. You know, I'd really rather be down there racing them myself, to be honest. I'm actually quite handy behind the wheel, but it's the downforce, those lateral Gs, you know? The old neck can't really handle it. So I need a pro. And that's where you come in. We run in a bunch of events throughout the year. Time trials, races, all sorts. And I have it on good authority that you have the ability and temperament to do well in these. Make our business look good and, most importantly, bring the cars back in one piece. So consider this a formal invitation. I'll see you at the track.
Now, I'd just like to step into my office. I'd like to go over those contract revisions we discussed on the phone.
Here we are then, the calm before the storm, as we wait for this field of iconic cars to burst into life for the historic invitational event today. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to be here and welcome along to all of you at home as well. So grab a cup of tea and get ready as our competitors make their final preparations.